I'm just trying to get some interaction with you guys. I'm having a crummy week. I want to know what baseball cards to buy, and I'm trying to ask a set. Right. You tell me Topps Chrome being a dick about it because previously you've told me Topps Chrome is an inferior product. I kind of back up and say, hey, you're redacting on your Topps Chrome, and you lose your mind over it.
Well, it's your own fault for asking for a cheap product to invest in.
I wanted help from a buddy.
Well, guys.
Come on.
Chad, I've got the product that's going to blow your socks off.
Oh, what's that, Ricky? Please do tell.
Stadium Club Chrome.
Oh, God. So I'm trying, I reach out to you guys earlier this week and ask if I were to buy Gavin Lux cards right now, or Luis Robert, or Kyle Lewis.
No. You said Gavin Lux.
You said Gavin Lux.
I said Gavin Lux. Okay.
A guy who did not make your team last year right off the bat.
Well, I'm trying to invest.
Isn't he like your boy me and just has problems with his weight in the treadmill?
What?
I thought he came in overweight this year. Maybe I'm thinking.
No, he came in because he couldn't field a ball, and that's why they sent him back down. Apparently, if you play the infield, you got to be able to catch a grounder. But yeah, so I reached out to you guys and asked what baseball card I should be investing in. And Tim, you threw out possibly Topps Chrome to me, and I immediately was like, what in the world are you talking about? Because we've had conversations about Topps Chrome, and Ricky and I have bought it. And you said that it's a garbage product. So then when I asked you about it, you totally snapped.
Well, because it falls right into your category of cheap product that could, possibly still turn you a profit if you were to buy it.
I disagree.
We can't talk about turning a profit this week. I tried to do that on Instagram, got destroyed.
Yeah, you got roasted. You got roasted.
No, here's how you're going to make your millions. 2 words. 3 words. Allen and Ginter. Chrome. Okay. 4 words.
Chrome. Yeah. Don't forget the Chrome.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I'm joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Chad?
Hey, guys.
And we're joined, as always, by the great, the energetic. He loves Topps Chrome, ladies. Dr. Tim.
Here we go, baby. Prepare to be underwhelmed.
How you doing, Timmy?
Go Utes.
We've got a really fun show for you guys tonight. We're going to discuss Eminence, Panini Flawless. We're also going to talk a little trading. But before we get into all that, we've got a little grading to reveal. Chad, you had a sub return. I guess it probably hasn't physically returned to you yet, but you've gotten the grades, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And Tim had a card too. So we want to talk a little bit about grading, not only results, and I've got a little tip for Mr. PSA 6 as well over there.
Hey.
So as you guys may have seen on Instagram, I was really happy about this card. I submitted a Ja Morant Spectra Celestial numbered to 99 that I bought raw off of eBay.
Okay.
Go to our Instagram account if you want to see the sass I'm throwing out for all you haters out there. Good Lord. And bought that card as soon as Spectra came out a couple of months ago. Great looking card, submitted it through a 10-day service through Gem Mint grading.
Right.
Card came back in about 3 weeks total, which was pretty good for PSA. I was
that's
pretty
fantastic.
happy.
How is that?
Yeah, the grading results, I should say.
Yeah.
And I revealed it on Instagram Reels, which you can go find on our Instagram account, Pack to the Future. And it came back, guys, a PSA 10. Woo! Fantastic. I was super thrilled about that. That was probably, to date, the most expensive card that I have purchased with the sole intention of grading and probably flipping. So I was super stoked about that.
That's awesome.
Come home after a day of work. That was kind of a crummy day. Lost a patient. It's never good. And the only reason I say that is you can have a crummy day, And this wonderful hobby of ours does not take away any crappiness that happens in our lives, but it can still give us a smile and take our minds off of things. And hitting that John Morant and seeing that made me happy. That was a good day. So
As it
I was
should.
happy about that.
That's a tough grade on a tough card. Congrats, man.
Yes. Yeah. Spectra is usually pretty tough. Those thicker cards. And Tim, you kind of led Ricky and I onto this early on. Those thick cards, Spectra, Noir, Immaculate, Flawless.
Yeah.
Those can be tough to grade. So I was really happy about that.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, it's interesting. Tim and I were talking about that this week. My initial intention was to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim has given me some interesting advice over the years, and I don't even think he knows half the stuff that he says to me, but it sticks in my mind. When we first started grading, Ricky, he said, make sure you don't get attached to these cards you submit if you're doing them to flip them.
Yep.
And I'm already attached to this card.
I know. Yeah. It's your little silver baby.
It is. And I have a couple other John Morants that have graded well. I have a select, just base rookie PSA 10. I have a Revolution Groove that's graded. And I've got a couple other Jaws coming back in the future that I'll tell you guys about. But I think I'm starting to be a Jaw collector.
Yeah, I noticed.
What does Mrs. Doc think about all these cards laying in bed with you guys? If you guys don't follow us on our Instagram, check us out at Pack to the Future Podcast. You'll see video clips of Chad tucking his cards into bed, putting seatbelts on his cards to go to the card shop.
You guys thought I woke up early, like just to get up and go to work and run. I wake up early so I can go hide those cards so she doesn't see them before I get out of bed in the morning.
Hey, Ricky,
So,
that's why he puts those in penny sleeves. You know? team bags, not penny sleeves.
He doesn't want it rubbing against anything hard.
No, not at all.
Timmy,
What?
you also had a submission come back.
Yeah, about 4 months too late. A while ago, I posted a picture of a Kobe White purple Pulsar from Prism, and I was super excited after winning it in a res for, I don't know, like $200 invested or something like that. And at the time, I was looking at comps, and a PSA 10 would have been worth a couple grand.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally got it back, and I already knew the grade, so I was a little annoyed. But just to see it in person, it still looks like a flawless card. It should still be a PSA 10 in my mind, but it's a PSA 9. 9 is still above average, but it's a disappointment after all the anticipation. And as Chad said, don't get attached to cards that you're purely buying to grade and flip. And even though he's a bull, I was not attached to this card and immediately flipped it for a trade. And I've mentioned before in a couple episodes that I hate trading, but I met a reasonable collector, and we actually hashed this out pretty fairly. He gave me a good number. We were both on the same page as far as the value for this PSA 9, which was tough to comp because a PSA 10 has not sold. There's one going at auction. It's going to end in about 5 days, so maybe 3 days after this episode releases.
Mm-hmm.
But the only comp was a BGS 9.5, so a True Gem Plus with the 10. So that had sold for $2,500 supposedly. So I was like, okay, so how do you comp a PSA 9 relative to BGS 9.5 now? Nobody knows. The usual multipliers are all out of whack. So we ended up meeting at a number that was about 0.65 of a BGS 9.5. So it ended up being around $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 range. And he was willing to meet me there, even though a raw card with a defect had only sold for about $460.
Wow.
So that's a big difference, right, Chad? You're buying something raw on eBay, not expecting something totally perfect. But yeah, like, is it worth it to have a PSA 9 compared to some random card off of eBay? I don't know. Was my card truly worth $1,300 compared to $460? I don't know. But the guy thought so. So we met from there.
What are the odds this guy just cracks it and resubmits it saying, you're an idiot, you don't know how to submit cards, I can get a 10?
He might. He might also curse my name out when he realizes that the card's not worth $1,300. I mean, it might not be. I don't know. But that was the number we went with. And so I flipped my Kobe, who some could call a semi-bust at this point because the Bulls suck.
Mm-hmm.
hampering his development. But I flipped him for 2 names that I think still have a lot of up and coming potential. So one of them is your boy Chad Ja.
Yeah,
I got his 2019 Select Red Wave. It was a PSA 10, so that was the centerpiece of the trade that I was getting back at about 800, 850 and rising. Coupled with
nice.
Jaylen Brown from 2016 Select, his tricolor rookie, also a PSA 10. So that is the sleeper hit here. He could be big.
He could.
Okay, I had a hard time following. You traded those last 2 cards for the Kobe White Purple Pulsar.
Correct, yeah. So I sent the Kobe to this guy, Jim, and he's sending me back the Ja and the Jaylen Brown.
Tim, you stole from this guy. Are you
think so?
Me? Yes. So we could talk about 1,000 things of what you just said. Let's talk about players just for a second. Jaylen Brown this year has shown himself to what a lot of people are saying is the number 1 guy in Boston, not the number 2 behind Tatum. He is playing like the guy.
Right.
And you put him in that big market with Boston. We don't know what Kobe White's going to be, just like you said. And so that Jaylen Brown card alone is very nice. I know it's not a Prism. You said that one was Select?
Yeah, they're both Select, but Select's kind of gaining plenty of traction right now. So,
well, Jeff, my guy Jeff.
yeah.
He was high on Select this week, in case you guys didn't hear. But also Ja, I think this will probably be the last time you can buy Ja at a reasonable price. I mean, he had that big 40-point game to start the season and then got hurt. So I think his cards, for the most part, have been relatively flat, if not gone up just a little bit to start the season. But when he comes back, if they make a push, he could explode. And Kobe White, Tim, I've followed him just a little bit because I sold 2 cards and I think I sold him too early, but I don't think he's been playing great to start the year. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think you sold him too early.
Yeah. So I think you stole.
No, I agree. I think you totally stole, and you and Chad I'm very jealous of all the Drew Locks and Larry Markkanen and Kobe White, and now you're just hitting new prospects. So I'm real excited to see where your team's going.
Screw you, Ricky. We are giving out hot advice over here.
No, well, my friends on Facebook actually say to do the exact opposite of what I do. Since pretty much every player I touch turns to complete garbage. So.
Okay. So wait, we got to run with this. That's a perfect segue. Tim. Some eBay raw card buying tips.
Yeah.
So once upon a time, when buying raw cards, I was having a hard time really picking up anything off eBay that was gradable. And you had mentioned to me that really the only time to pick up a product to get a card that isn't scratched up is immediately after release.
Generally, yep.
And I don't know if you recall that, but that has changed the way I have purchased cards off of eBay. So if you recall that Ja Morant Spectra card that I purchased, I bought it within the first week or 2 that Spectra was released, knowing that it wouldn't have had time to change hands already on eBay. Every time someone takes it out of a sleeve, puts it back in, ships it, there's opportunity for that card to be scratched. And so I did that with the Spectra cards, and then Hoops Premium Stock, which we may talk about a little bit later on today. I've done the same thing, and I've bought quite a few cards off of eBay as soon as they came out. And I'm finding that my success rate is still nowhere close to 100%, and I'm not complaining about it. So anyone who says that, just shut up. But the success rate is better. It really is. And so that advice that you gave me, I don't even know if you realize that, but that was super helpful and seems to have improved my rate of PSA 10s.
I did notice that shift in your buying habits. You're leaning towards more recent releases instead of kind of digging through the scraps, so to speak. And I think that was a smart move.
It's rough going to Ricky. The few cards that you've bought, and we've talked about this too, when you buy them and they're older, they come more than beat up. I mean, almost every time. And so if the intent is to have something that looks nice, you got to try to put yourself in any type of position to get a good card back, especially with the limitations that eBay has, which is the primary marketplace that we have for our cards.
Right. I still think that I'm still waiting for the day when Chad walks into our local card shop with the headset magnifiers on the goggles to start looking through her cards.
think the three of us just need to do that one day and just see what happens.
I may have sworn some people at the card shop to secrecy. I may have done this. And it'll never happen when you guys are there with me. Guilty. I made sure no one was in the store.
Tim,
and I made sure no one would tell you.
We need a sting operation. We need to have our local card shop. I won't say their names, but we need to have them on speed dial and having them calling us. Dialing!
Yeah.
If Chad walks through that door with a big old magnifying headset on.
You guys bust in the door like an episode of Cheaters. I sprint out the back door of the card shop, jump over the racks, knock everything over.
Oh,
you never see me
awesome.
again.
We have all the security cam footage to stream to YouTube.
Oh, God. Well, guys, I also had 3 submissions. One was a 45 business day. Well, 2 of them were because you have to separate them into older cards and newer cards. Mm-hmm. And I also had a 20 day. And let's see.
When did you submit those? Do you know? The 45 day?
I don't think I have the date that I submitted them. It was about the time we submitted yours. It was a couple of weeks after the ones that we just got back.
So that was in June.
July.
Yeah.
It might have.
So we're
been
looking about
July.
7 months for.
Yeah.
the
So
45 day.
they were due January 8th and November 30th. And
Yeah.
Kurt and I've got some big news, guys. They are all in step 5 of 13.
Ugh,
Aw.
it's been slow. Have you guys noticed that the cards moved to step 5 really quick,
Yes.
They did.
and then they just don't move? Do you think it's because of that machine? Do they have that Da Vinci prostate remover thing? Is that thing moving? Is it up and going?
Yeah, it removes all your money from your bank account and then lets it sit in your rectum.
Yeah, it really does.
I think that's their trick, is that they get you through. So the steps is something that our group submitter sends in. So I don't even know if these are real PSA steps, but I think it's a brilliant move by him, because I think everyone gets to 5 relatively quickly, and you all think you're getting a lot of text message updates and it's moving, and then they all just sit there for a year and a half and go from 6 to 13 in another 2 days.
It's like in The Simpsons when Homer calls, or when someone calls, like wondering if they still have this product in, and the guy looks in the warehouse and there's like 1 million of them. He's like, yeah, we got a couple. That's PSA
Exactly.
looking at our boxes.
Exactly.
No, but Ricky, so like, how's that strike you as a relatively new guy to grading? I mean, like, how is that rubbing you?
The time it's taking to get your cards back?
Yeah, the promise of 45 day and 20 day, and then here we are in mid-January.
I'm livid. I could feel my blood pressure spiking
Good.
again just pulling up the website to check the status for this bit just now. Yeah. And I really have not checked the status for quite some time, because it infuriates me.
Uh-huh.
On the flip side, though, you do have to acknowledge I should be getting a bunch of Luka rookies back mid-NBA season, and had I gotten them back 2 months ago, I probably would have unloaded them early.
This is true.
So it does force you to hold on to some. If you've got good quality cards, good quality players that are not going to drop in value, it can be a good thing. But man, it is irritating. And they really should just almost do away with any promises 10 day, 45 day, just because they haven't. It's such a joke about them meeting any of those deadlines. And then you get these news articles about these celebrities and people going there in person and get the stuff back same day graded. And I know they're paying a ridiculous fee, but in a way, I think it's ridiculous.
It's like a CD. I mean, you put money into it, and usually they appreciate what the cards do, which is nice, but you just can't touch them for a while. But on the other hand, I just got a 45 day back. There were cards in there that I forgot that I even had. I kid you not. Like, it was, one of them was a Ja Morant Net Marvels.
Yeah.
Really?
I completely forgot I had it.
Oh,
You
wow.
texted me and was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Was that from the Zion chase when you collected all the
That was from the massive box break. Guys, thinking back, can you believe that we did that? And I wasn't grading cards then.
No.
I think I opened like 15 boxes each year it's going to grow by 5 boxes, the legend. But I'm pretty sure I opened like 100 boxes.
He opened
then.
150 boxes.
But yeah, that's when it was from. So that was from a while.
That's crazy that you pulled that, and at the time you were like, "This is the dumbest thing ever."
Yep.
You know?
Seriously.
By the way, that was the biggest mistake we've ever made. Is not, and I realize we did multiple nights of Instagram Live. We should have had that on air.
I know.
Because we could have celebrated your excitement, and
Yep.
You miserable is maybe the funniest radio I've ever heard in my life.
I was you guys should have seen my room all decked out. Like I had everything Mardi Gras in here. We had a Mardi Gras murder mystery party like a couple months before, and my entire office was Mardi Gras. I think I had like a sport coat on with some like shorts, some. I don't even know how to follow that.
Yeah, that was optional.
I had like beads on. I had my wife dress up all fancy, like we were going like.
You probably did meals. Didn't you do meals around it and/or drinks?
The whole bit. I wish I would have held on to a lot of those cards. Lesson learned.
Well, guys, when we come back, we're gonna get into some trading, a move that Tim had made. And talk a little bit more about some of the other trades that Chad and I have done when we come back right after this.
I was having a great time until I got caught running a Ponzi scheme. Better call Ricky.
Oh no, I need Luca Pink Prism rookie card numbered to 50.
Boom shakalaka!
Better call Ricky.
Hi, I'm Ricky Goodman. Did you know you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent and free to buy my sports cards on eBay. That's why I sell to you sports card collectors. Come buy my cards on eBay at username Again, that's no K. See you all soon. All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Please check us out on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. When you check us out, please rate and review 5 stars for our show. If you have anything less than 5 stars, we will take those ratings as well, but we are going to have you call the listener line at 801-893-1609. Leave your thoughts. How's that for a tease?
I like that.
Timmy.
But you're the one who has to answer those.
Damn it.
Ricky will personally call each and every one of you back and bake you a dish.
What?
Oh, I like that idea.
Timmy, you the Colby Kobe.
No,
White.
Kobe. You had it right. Colby is a cheese. Kobe is a basketball player.
Colby White. He's not. You traded more than one of his high valued cards lately, haven't
Colby
you?
Robert White.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna do a mashup shirt for Tim. That's Colby Robert.
Marketing. Yeah.
So Timmy, tell us about this other Kobe that you traded recently.
So Kobe's gonna haunt my dreams, I think. But back in the summer of 2020, once upon a time, I held 2 Kobe White Prism Silver PSA 10s, 2 Zion Optic PSA 10s.
Okay.
So a pair of both. And I really wanted a Luis Robert True Gem 2018 Bowman Auto, his first Bowman Auto.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Should have gone Topps Chrome, but whatever.
You're right. I should have. No, both packages were valued at about $1,700 at the time. So where do you think each side ended up?
Wait, what do you mean both packages?
No, so the Luis Robert at that time was worth $1,700.
Okay.
2 Zion Optic base PSA 10s, and then 2 Kobe White Silver Prism PSA 10s. Totaled $1,700 at the time too.
The Kobe and the Zions are Lot A and
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta imagine the basketball one's worth more. A lot
you
more.
you shouldn't have to think very hard about that for somebody who doesn't like baseball. Yeah, still wants to try to invest in it, but good luck with that. So. No, let this be a
caution. In everything, baby.
He smashes it, baby. Yeah. No, so let this be a cautionary tale for anybody who thinks Luis Robert is going to outperform basketball in the future. He's not. Currently, that same card just sold for $1,276 on eBay on the 10th.
What same card?
The Luis
What are you
Robert.
talking about?
Okay.
The exact same
did you
card.
end up doing the trade?
I did. Yeah. So I ended up with the Robert.
Okay.
The other guy ended up with my 2 Zion and 2 Kobe.
Okay.
So this Robert just recently sold for $1,276. So that's already a decrease in value by $454.
Did your PayPal transaction go through for that?
It did.
Did they use friends and family?
Yes.
Oh wait, that was you that sold it?
No,
I was just joking.
That was not me. No, that was not me.
Okay.
It was just another comp. Jeez.
Okay. I'll shut up. I got it.
No, you're fine. But yeah, the 2 Zions, they are now worth $270 each. So double that, $540.
Okay.
It's the 2 Kobe's that are going to kill me, even though he's underperforming right now. Those two, so each of those Prism Silvers are worth $800 still.
Ooh.
Each.
Yikes.
You know
That's
what?
with him underperforming.
Tim does this to himself. Do
I
you have a sheet that you track every card you've sold and traded away so that you can follow all the money you've lost? I don't know anyone in this world that knows more about the deals he shouldn't have made than you.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's all a part of his story, man. Tim, the junky rainy day Tim.
I just torture myself, when I'm having a great day. I do the opposite of Chad. I don't look for my PSA sub. I pull up my spreadsheet and just look at the negative totals that I've dealt myself.
He's got like a leg clamp, like in like one of those like old church people, and is like whipping himself bloody while staring at the list of I traded away Zion. Oh, Ja. Like in the Da Vinci Code, the guy in the Da Vinci
all those torture
Code.
traps from Saw, those were completely modeled after things in my room.
Do you want to make a trade?
Do you want to play a game?
Let's make a trade.
2014, you once traded. So this brings up a good topic though, Tim.
Oh, please do tell.
There's 2 ways or 2 reasons why you make a trade, either personal collection or for value.
Yep, which was the point you made at the time. Yep.
So why did you make the trade?
Personal collection.
Okay. Do you still have the card?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
He thought about that for a second.
You did think about that. He still has the COVID fog, which
might be a real thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. So why go look up that value? To Ricky's point, if you made it for a part of your personal collection, you got to force yourself to never go look at those values, right?
You do.
So otherwise, you beat yourself up and you resent the card that you acquired for your own personal collection.
No, you do. One of my buddies who's much smarter than I am when it comes to investing, he said, there's all these shoulda, woulda, couldas. You can't do that to yourself. Just have to keep moving forward.
And Tim says, I understand, and then does it again.
No, I tortured myself for this segment. I had to look back through my messenger and actually pull up the values.
True.
I was curious. Sometimes it is a lesson worth learning.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that is why we recorded this segment 2 days after the first segment that we recorded for that long break that none of you knew about, was for Tim to go back through his messages and find that. But Ricky, you have said this from day one that you can't go back and look at that. And I've always kind of laughed at and brushed it off, but it's for this exact reason.
Right.
And that's a good thing for listeners to know, that if you're doing it for trade, you want to make sure you have fun with the hobby. And that is one way you could absolutely beat yourself up and resent this hobby very quickly.
And it is tough, because I do think that by looking at those, you do learn some lessons, right? Of, okay, well, maybe this is a player I should have paid closer attention to. Maybe next time I have his card, I won't sell it without touching it, Tim. But I've had a similar experience growing up. had a cousin my same age that we collected together, and I can't tell you how many Jordans I must have traded away to him. It was his favorite player. I wanted Jeff Malone. And so the number of bad deals I must have done, and Tim helped me grade a lot of my childhood Jordans. They came back in pretty good shape. God knows what I must have traded away. And I refuse to let myself think about it. I will not reach out to my cousin and find out what I traded away, because I'll go absolutely berserk if I get that information.
Yeah, you don't want to know that. Enjoy what you got.
Get at the show.
Exactly.
But sometimes trades work out for the better.
Yeah.
Ricky, should we talk about our trade? Tim, are we good if we transition into this little trade Ricky and I made a couple years ago?
Please reveal a happier story.
Okay. So on the happier end of this, during one of which year was it, Ricky? Do you know when we did one of our big box openings? Is that when Tim sat at the table and traded penny stocks the whole night?
Yes. And then screamed at us because we said, "Hey, Tim, why don't you open some cards with your friends?"
Yep.
He screamed at us about the volatility of Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah. So we had all kind of saved up boxes over the span of time of maybe 3 to 4 months or so.
Yes.
And got together right around New Year's. We were going to make it a New Year's thing.
Yes.
And sat around the table. We were all having a good time and opening up boxes. And Ricky and I are doing cartwheels, and shirts are being ripped off and high fiving, and go to high five Tim, and he's buying Bitcoin at 0.00001 cent per share or something. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, he was bouncing between being almost a millionaire and having to take out a second mortgage on his house within the span of about 10 seconds. Hey, don't you guys know how volatile Bitcoin is?
You got a little defensive of it.
It was a little intense that night.
Yeah, we were giving you a hard time, so I can't blame you. But yeah,
it got me nowhere, by the way.
Well, it got your cell phone banned at the table for a little while.
That's right.
That's true. I was that guy.
But at that point, it was during that box opening. It was a box of Absolute that I had opened up. Maybe it was 17, 18. I honestly don't recall.
Yeah.
But I had pulled a Kevin Durant on-card autograph.
Yep.
And Kevin Durant's not really my guy. But Ricky, you had eyes for this thing from the start.
I did. And I've always had a soft spot for him, not because he's a great player, but he went to the University of Texas, which is where I went. And so I enjoyed watching him in college, and have just enjoyed since. And actually have been an apologist for him when he's had some of these weird rants that he's had. I really like the guy, but I was ecstatic. It was his first year with the Warriors. And I was ecstatic when you hit that card.
That's right. And so I did something very dumb, which never works out in the history of sports. But for the record, I was not thinking clearly. I traded the card to Ricky for future considerations.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
You mixed in booze, Ricky, and a promise to do something in the future. That never ends well.
No. That was not smart at all. But
now,
on the other side of the trade, Ricky, you hit something and traded it back to me.
Yeah. Now, when I want you to tell this, continue telling the story, but I want you to tell it from your perspective of when I showed up at your house to tell you what you would be accepting in lieu of the Kevin Durant.
Yeah, sure. So
you remember?
Yeah, I remember. I don't know how much of it you want me to tell, though, man. So we didn't prep this before. So,
well, I was going to say that I showed up to your house with a box of cards, and the cellophane had been removed. So I'd clearly gone through it, and I said, "You have to accept whatever's in this box for the KD. It might be like the most amazing.
Could be a zonk.
It could, or it could be nothing. I promised nothing."
Mm-hmm.
And if I recall, when you first opened, and I'll let you take over the story right after this, there were a lot of empty wrappers.
There were. Oh. Yeah, so it was a box, and I don't recall what the box is of. It could have been what the actual card came from, which I think was limited football.
It was the box that the card came from. So if that's the type of card, then it was limited.
Yeah, so it was limited. I'm just taking a peek over at this now. So it was limited football. Open up the box, which did not have cellophane in it, which I shouldn't have even trusted you in the first place. open it up, bunch of empty wrappers. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, Ricky's a pretty generous guy when it comes to cards, but he's also Ricky, and I don't trust him at all. Like, this is a man, you guys have to understand this. Before this podcast was ever a twinkle in either of our eyes, there was a period of time when I had a bar stool in my hands at a bar and almost cracked it over Ricky's head. Like, that's a real story. That is real life.
We've almost gotten into 2 or 3 fistfights, if I recall.
But you guys also have to know that all three of us are very good friends now.
Yes.
But there are times when you need to crack a bar stool over someone's head. We've been there.
Yes, we have. We have.
Yep.
And for some reason, I trusted you with these cards
Right.
because that was a good idea. And I hope, from what I remember, Ricky, I had to like open up the
It's a
box
false
of cards.
bottom.
On the bottom of it, there was a card hidden there in a mag.
That's right. That box perfectly concealed a hidden card. And I've always been fascinated with the idea of these false bottoms. And they never mean anything. It's actually a way for the manufacturer to put less cards in a box and make it look more full. But when I started collecting Allen and Ginter, you had told me that there might be some secret cards in false bottoms. So ever since then, no matter what the box, even though I know nothing's there, I always dig through it and rip it apart. And this concealed the card perfectly.
And it was perfect. I heard that Eminence used to conceal a card on the bottom, which is probably the only good thing about Eminence ever, which we'll get to later. But the card that I pulled up is one of my absolute favorites, Ricky, that you traded back to me for that future consideration. So this worked out well. It was, I believe it's...
Face us when you talk.
I believe that it was from Limited Football, and it was a triple autograph, 1/1 of John Elway, Rod Smith, and Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
The big three from the Super Bowl winning team. And that is an awesome card. It's hanging up on my shelf. It's never going anywhere. And so that trade worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, that was a really good trade for both of us, a win-win. And it is kind of a rule among our group of friends, and I'm sure a lot of other collectors may have this if they've got close friends they collect with, that when I saw that Broncos card, 1/1 Legends, triple auto, I know it has to go to Chad. I mean, even if we didn't have a trade pending, I have to find a way to get it to him. And I think the three of us are all really good about that. When there's just a mind-blowing card of one of our favorite teams, we say, okay, how are we going to get it in this guy's hands? And that's one of the favorite things that we do together as collectors, for me, is to find something that I know is going to excite one of you so much and to be able to surprise you with it. So there was no doubt in my mind. In fact, I walked out to my wife immediately after opening it and saying, look how cool this is. And like right after that saying, it's not mine, it's Chad's. So
and you had told my wife to film me opening it.
That's right.
She didn't know what it was. So somewhere there is that video.
We'll have to find that.
I'll see if I can find it. I'll throw it up on Instagram.
That would be really funny.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because you had a pretty good reaction, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that one worked out really well. Have you guys ever heard of fights breaking out over trades?
No.
Well,
Well,
specifically,
when I
Okay,
was like 10 maybe, and like my cousin and I would get in an argument, but that's about as far as it goes.
Okay, so 2 quick ones, and I'm going to shut up. I've already met my quota for what I'm comfortable with hearing myself talk during this episode. So number one, when I was young, Ricky, you'll enjoy this. I went down to my buddy's house who lived right down the street. We had to have been less than 10 years old, I think.
Okay.
And, you go down, you bring your little box of cards, and you go down, you lay them all out on the floor, and you do your trades. And I had traded him some insert, I don't remember what it was, for a Barry Sanders rookie card. And he was a big Lions fan, but his dad was a bigger Lions fan. And so I go home, and I'm showing my parents this card, and I've got this Barry Sanders card. I'm like, yes, yes. About 5 or 10 minutes later, knock on our front door. It's the kid's dad. And that was his dad's card. Barry Sanders. He's like, my idiot son traded you a Barry Sanders card, and you need to trade it back to him right now. I'm like, what? And like, luckily we're on good terms with this family, so we ended up trading it back. But that did not go well. So that's story number one. Story number two is I was at the card shop this past weekend, ran into an old buddy who will not be named because his son apparently has instigated a trade neighborhood family war.
What?
Sorts.
what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Similar type of episode, I think, where there was some trading that happened between kids with cards.
He traded away dad's card or one of his cards?
I don't know if it was dad's cards. I think it was kids' cards, but parents got wind of it, didn't like what.
And if this
what
is
was
who
being
I
traded,
if
and
this
it
is who I
created some disruption.
and if this is who I think
Nope, stop. No. I did not even talk to the person that I would mention this. So
listen.
No names.
No, I'm not going to say names. I'm going to say that he spends a lot of time with his son, helping him with his collection. That's it.
Yeah.
That it's a.
Yep.
This is not something.
Not so well.
This is something that they did not come to lightly. His son's card collection. So if he's trading away cards, he shouldn't be. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Do either of you guys worry about having young ones of your own that are going to trade away your cards to me?
No, because I've been teaching my daughter who the valuable players are every time I open a pack and insulating her from stupid decisions.
She's going to show up like when she's older from like her boyfriend's house with just pockets full of cards, Zions and Jordans.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So you guys know how you bought those packs so that somebody could try to hit those All-Star Jordans from that 91 Fleer, right? Conveniently, all the Jordans disappeared from my box, and I found them in her room the other night in top loaders.
What? Get out of here.
No, I'm kidding.
She had them in grades, in piles, graded 10, 9, 8, and 7, and 6. I grabbed the 6 and sent them all off to PSA.
No, they're right next to her My Little Pony cards that our LCS shop owner provides for her.
Well, guys,
that's pretty good.
I think it's time that we get into a little discussion of Flawless and Eminence. Chad's eager to share his thoughts, and I'm eager to listen to them. We'll be right back after this.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. People are crowding the streets as Panini has announced the return of Eminence basketball.
I don't care what anybody thinks. I love them, and I'll always love them. Even when I'm 105 and an old grandmother, I'll love
This highly popular product was last seen in 2015. Stretching the 1920 NBA collecting season a little bit further and pushing the cost a little bit higher, Eminence marks the cardboard return for this expensive brand. With 9 autographs per box, the price tag falls undoubtedly in the 5-figure range. Release dates are for the end of December. Will you be in line to pick up this product?
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Guys, you can check us out on our Instagram at Pack to the Future Podcast. Guys, we were going to break down some new product, some much discussed, much anticipated product coming out. And I wanted to start the conversation with Panini Flawless Basketball. Now, there is in that set a Zion NBA logo man patch 1 of 1, correct? That's the holy grail that everyone's after.
Correct. Yeah.
And I just thought we'd have a discussion on whether that it's worth it to go chase this card that everyone wants. Everyone and their dog wants. And truly, if you hit this, if you bought one box of this product and hit this card, it's life-changing. It's
yeah.
It's
to say the least.
It's buy a house money. So it's a real eye catcher up front to say, hey, let's go chase after this card. And there's some other valuable cards in this set. It's a nice set overall. But I thought we'd have a discussion on whether it's worth it. What do you guys think about this?
Whew. That was the question, right? The dream is real with Flawless. That's the whole point, right? It's the nicest game used product from rookies, rookie years products. And I can't even imagine what it'd be like to hit that card. But say you had enough money that you could go hard after it. So how hard would you go after it?
So let's break down a couple of the numbers. What do we think the logo man would be worth if hit? Have there been any projections on that?
Well, the non-auto logo man, we have some known data on. The estimate was 750,000. I haven't checked in on the auction yet. Have you, Chad?
No, and Ricky, this is actually one that, if you recall from last week's episode, we discussed. And that's where the number came from.
Well, I was just going to invite one of you guys to share the number to say, yeah, we talked about it last week, guys.
Yeah. So last week we talked, this is the one that was pulled out of a rip, and then Ken Golden Auctions, the guy who hit it, got a hold of Ken Golden Auctions, who had a nephew, went and picked up the card, submitted a PSA, got it back the same day. And I didn't check the update.
But we think
short of that.
Let's,
it was 750 was the estimate.
Yeah. So let's put it in that range. And that's, and so then how much is it per briefcase? $6,500?
6,500, 7,000, something like that. It's rising. We'll go with 6,500.
Okay.
That was the last I saw.
Okay. What is it worth the gamble, I guess is the question. Is it worth buying this product simply to chase after a single card?
Well, we've got some data. To tell us what the chances are.
Some people say shoot for the moon, and if you fail, you'll still land among the stars.
Other people say you shoot for it. If you fail,
you get a second
mortgage. Will leave you and you're broke.
Exactly.
All right. So here is some of the math that we did, and I ran it by you guys just in between the break, and we think the math is all right. So here's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Flawless comes with one diamond card per case. The diamond card is considered a base card, of which, according to Cardboard Connection, there are 100 in the set.
Okay.
The diamond card base cards are numbered to 20, but there are also parallels numbered to 10, 5, 3, and 1.
Okay.
Which means that of each player, there are 39 total base cards.
Okay.
20 plus 10 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1.
Yep. Checks out.
So that would mean that I would estimate that there are 3,900 total briefcases that were produced.
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it does.
That's a lot of money.
You just realize like they are literally just printing money over at Panini.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
Why won't we manufacture some diamonds and put them in a little piece of cardboard and charge the heck out of it? Right?
Mm-hmm. So if you're chasing after the one big card, which is worth $750,000.
Right.
Divide that by $6,500 per briefcase, which means that you can open up about 115 cases to get your money back just for the one card.
Okay. So if you hit that Zion in those 115 cases, you will break even or make money.
Yes.
That's the hope.
Okay.
That's the hope. So for that one card, the chance of hitting it, 115 cases divided by the 3,900 total briefcases that were made gives you a 3% chance with that money of hitting that card to break even or make money. 3%. I looked at some of the other higher price cards in the set. So you could say like, well, of course, you're going to make your money back in the other cards.
Right.
As of eBay 2 days ago, the autos and RPAs of Jaw and Zion from Flawless are selling for about $10,000 to $15,000. A lot of money, yes.
Yeah.
Nowhere near $750,000.
No, that barely breaks you even on a full case, which is 2 briefcases, right? So,
which is crazy.
Yeah. Tim, have you bought one of these yet?
No. That was good this year. Go ahead, Chad.
No, I was just going to correct Ricky. He asked you the wrong question. He said bought one of these cases.
Oh, no, I did not. So, yeah.
Will you?
Have you acquired one of these cases?
No.
Have you razzed for one, sold a kidney for one?
That was my follow-up.
I know what you're asking.
Do you have a plan?
Sorry, Ricky.
Do you have a plan of attack to get one of these in a razz?
No.
Have you attempted to razz for one of these?
No, I was actually a good boy this year.
I'm impressed.
I didn't even enter. The closest I got was trying to split a spot in a serial number break for a single case. That would have been $650 a spot because there's only 10 cards in the case.
Right.
10, well, whatever. Yeah. So 0 through 9, you have 10 spots, 10 chances to actually get a card.
Sure.
And even then, that was too much. So for a full briefcase, I was $1,300. I mean, can you imagine dropping $1,300 and potentially getting squat? No thanks.
Ooh.
I mean, last year I could have bought a single briefcase, I think, at that price.
Yeah.
At release.
Yeah, you're probably close to that.
I'm not
Probably
making
right
that
around
up.
there.
I mean, I want to say I was hesitating on buying a full 2 briefcase case for like $2,800. I was sitting there looking it up on my phone. I was like, Luca, is he worth it? Is he worth it?
Yeah.
And is he worth it? Like add a 0 to that price now, you know?
I remember trying to convince you to buy that case.
You
I
told
remember
me.
this. Yep.
Mhm.
And I was hemming and hawing. I was like, it's maybe like $300 outside of my reach. And like,
Well,
2
of
weeks
course,
later,
I
it's
was
like,
urging you to do it, thinking that it would be ridiculous and you'd be blowing a bunch of money. But
oh, right,
and in
right.
hindsight,
Yeah,
it would have been a great buy.
you were egging me on, and it should have listened to you for once. So, no, yeah, like 2 weeks later, it was an atrocious price. But you know that puts into perspective this year, like how ridiculous that price is. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah, and this is the Zion effect, right? That the hobby in basketball in particular has literally shifted where we could easily afford basketball the years heading into Zion, and now it is a rich man's game, and that's coming from an attorney sitting with 2 doctors.
Yeah,
telling you it is a rich man's
yeah.
game.
We all stopped opening anywhere near the amount of boxes we were opening previously.
100%.
yeah. Even towards the end of last year already, and then this year's like 4 or 5-fold price wise, right?
Right.
I made an offhand comment to one of our Instagram followers. It's like, must be nice being rich, in reference to, you know, like somebody who was opening up like a mail day that had like a LeBron patch auto from Upper Deck in it. And it's like, must be nice. And, you know, the reply back was, you knuckleheads are 2 doctors and a lawyer. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, like literally, like that's a different league of collecting or buying in a hobby. I mean, it's just, we're priced out too.
No, you're exactly right.
That Zion's a horizontal card.
Is it?
Do you guys like? I don't like horizontal cards. Ricky, the autograph that we traded for that we talked about last segment is horizontal. Those are one of only 3 horizontal cards that I have in my case.
Yeah. It's
Why
hard.
can't they just make it vertical? Everyone likes a vertical card. You can fit the logo man in there. Why would you do that? I don't get it.
They alternate it year to year. I don't understand. They do it with National Treasures too, like football. Every other year, it's like a horizontal versus a vertical, true RPA. I'm like, just keep it freaking vertical. Nobody wants the horizontals.
Right.
No.
What if you guys had the money and we're making substantially more, would you still buy these products? I don't know that I would, just because they are so overpriced. I don't think you get the value.
Well, but then so like who's buying Eminence then?
That's a good point.
I would buy every one of these. I love ripping boxes, man. The
If you had the money,
excitement of doing that is fantastic, and I love it. And the joy you guys get from watching me just sulk and sob when I hit nothing. At least I know it provides you guys good entertainment. But ripping boxes is awesome. If I had unlimited funds, I'd buy all of them. I'd be Nat Turner.
I am going to still complain about the damn diamond cards. I think that is the dumbest thing of all time. It has nothing to do with sports. It has nothing to do with the players. It's just a cash grab. And I think I know that I am in the minority here. Those cards sell, but I think that they are ridiculous.
That was my initial reaction when they first came out. You know, it's like everybody's like, oh, it's a diamond. You flip it over, and the back of the card, it says this is a manufactured diamond. It's not even like a blood diamond. It's not a, like a, a rated diamond. It's like just a, hey, somebody crunched this in a machine diamond.
I was part of that craze. I was absolutely part of the craze. I remember the first day that the Flawless cards came out. A buddy and our listener of ours, Tatsu, we were working in clinic, and Flawless came out, and we had entered into a jazz break. I had entered it, and he was going to come watch it. So we kind of leave our duties for a second. We didn't leave any patients waiting, but we ran back into my office and watched the break, and I hit an Al Jefferson diamond card for the Jazz, and we were going nuts. Like, yeah, we got one. I fully was into that craze.
Well, and many were and are. It's still a popular card, but it makes no sense to me.
Well, it's gone back to the rarity thing, you know. I mean, Chad just laid out the numbers. You hit an out of 3 card of any of those big rookies. Doesn't matter what's on it. You could put a piece of tissue paper in the place of the patch, and it would still sell, right? Because it's out of 3.
Right. No,
that's what people kind of focused in on. And then the other crime is now there's only 2 encased cards in each briefcase. It used to be 3. Now you get 1 diamond and you get 1 whatever, whether that's a vet, super nice vet auto like Curry or Anthony Davis, or the actual RPA. I mean,
see, that's what signals to me that this could be a bubble. At what point are they going to get too greedy that people say, no, enough's enough?
It's only going to be 1 encased card next year
or
the year after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there's no need to put 2 more in there. They know, oh, hey, we'll just keep 1 encased card now.
Well, and I don't know.
It's going to happen.
And you can see the laziness, and it's along the lines where Topps is doing the same, where they just say, oh, yeah, we're releasing all our baseball product, and now we're going to release it all again as Chrome.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that does not compare to Chad's feelings on Eminence, and I cannot wait to hear this.
What'd you say earlier today, Chad?
Via text message?
Uh-huh.
I've already got enough haters on Instagram, man. I don't know if I should be saying this, but you know what? Screw it. Let me see what the words were. I'm pulling it up right now.
While he's
you don't have to. Go ahead, Ricky.
While he's pulling that up,
we text a lot.
Yeah, while he's pulling that up,
while he's stalling,
Eminence is this $25,000 to $30,000 per box, or is this for the Zion? Should you hit it?
No,
I assume
per box.
Really?
Box. Yeah, it's a 10-card box. Right?
That's a car. That is a car.
Literally a car. Yeah. Pre-tax, but it's a car.
Yeah, and a decent car.
Yeah. It's, right on blowout, it's $34,000 now. I mean, not that anybody hopefully pays that price, but I mean, it's probably going to be that price at some point for real.
These cards are ugly as hell.
Yes, he says it.
I don't get it. They're not for me, and it's not just because of the price. When I immediately look at the card, it needs to grab me and say, I have to go buy one right now. And these cards, I look at it and I don't understand the teal shimmer. Like, what the hell is that? Why? Like, why is that the thing? If someone could explain that, just even color schemes to me.
Well,
it's not your favorite color.
I agree with you. And
I just don't get it.
Well, and they also do something similar to those damn diamonds where they put in pieces of metal with the logo man on it. Again, what?
It doesn't justify the price. I don't get it. The on-card autograph is cool, but why did we get to a point where we have to spend $25,000 to get a game-used patch and an on-card autograph?
Yeah. No.
Like, why? I just know they're just not for me. There are some really cool tandems. Like, there's some cool designs to it.
Yeah.
The Stockton and Malone 1-of-1 laundry tags that are in there. That is a super cool card.
Right.
And I would love to see that card. I would love to have that card.
That thing was
someday.
gorgeous. Yep.
But I don't get it. I mean, to me, the look of Immaculate and Flawless just looks so much cleaner and so much, what's the word I'm looking for? It looks like it would carry a higher price tag.
Yes.
Than Eminence. So it's not for me. I don't get it. I don't get it, guys.
What do you think, Timmy?
Yeah, mixed feelings. Ever since Impeccable first released the metal cards, I was with you, Ricky, as far as the gut reaction of like, hey, this is a gimmick. Like, please don't fall for this, guys. And now they carried it all the way through to their top end product.
Right.
And so, yeah, you own say a John Morant logo man that's got the metal bar in it. Technically it's a logo man, but it's not the logo man off a game used patch or jersey, right? So that's not the same already. So you can't tell me that that's more valuable than the Flawless logo man. It's not. But you look at this card, I've got the John Morant pulled up here on eBay. And it's not even a 101 with that silver bar logo man in it. It's an out of 10. But it's shiny. These cards are super thick when I've seen breakers turn them to the side. I mean, I think they're 180 or even thicker than that.
Big.
260 maybe even.
Good. So
Got
you're
pay for that cardboard.
good. So you're giving money for a car so that you can get a card that will not grade. Okay.
No, yeah, it's not going to grade. It's going to stay in this little shiny display case and not be touched. But yeah, this card's at $9,800 and rising with 2 days left. Is that worth it? I don't think so, right? You're opening up a box like that and potentially not coming anywhere close to breaking even. Not that that's really the point, right? I mean, it's partially the experience of saying you're opening a sky-high, atrocious cost product.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, somebody out there is super happy with it because it's super shiny and it's one of the highest end releases. So I don't know. It's something for somebody out there.
This has to be the highest end release price point for basketball, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, right?
That is
outside a Master Collection that retailed at this price, but didn't actually sell for this price.
Right. Those are in a different tier. But as far as
wide release, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Go back in time 3 years, Tim, and the same amount of money you spent on Upper Deck Master Collection compared to Eminence. If you had the choice to buy one or the other right now, which one would you buy?
Master Collection.
I don't want to give away the numbers if you don't want to, but couldn't you have gotten multiple Master Collections for the price of Eminence?
2.
Yeah. Think about that. Think about
depending
that.
on when you bought them. Yeah.
You could have owned a Stanley Cup for the
Right.
price of a box of Eminence.
Two of them.
If Zion ends up being the next LeBron, though, if you have the Zion patch auto from this out of 5 or out of 3 or the 101, I mean, you're looking at somebody writing about you in 20 years selling a card for $1 billion or something. Right? So,
Someone's going to be writing about me swimming naked in the Stanley Cup on State Street in Salt Lake City, Utah, though.
Yes. Except nobody will care in Utah because we don't care about hockey here, apparently, despite being
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a great point.
All right. Well, guys,
Crazy.
anything else we want to cover?
I think that's good.
I don't think so. Those are the two big ones. Go buy Hoops Premium stock. We'll leave it at
yes,
that.
we do want to talk. I want to talk about that briefly because you got into Hoops Premium stock, and I made so much fun of you. It's actually one of the other fights we almost got into.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And
Oh boy. Okay. We can't leave this out.
You bought this box for about $300, I think, and I made
We saved the best for last, by the way, listeners.
We made a big deal because I was buying cheaper football product, ugly,
Right.
awful football product at half the price, but I was going to get an autograph. So I put that in your face and you about slugged me. But you seem to have really liked it. I kept waiting for that was a bad mistake. I regret it. And you didn't necessarily get like mind-blowing hits or, patch autos or anything, but this product has kept your interest, hasn't it?
It has for a number of reasons. And yes, you're correct. Patches, I don't believe are a thing. The autographs, most of them are stickers that I've seen. But the cards are thicker stock.
Okay.
The edges are very crisp. The corners are easy to keep very nice and sharp for grading purposes.
Right.
There is a lot of different color and a lot of different variations with these cards, which seem to be very popular and something that I think about with Prism, which of course is the most popular card to grade and most sought after rookie card. It strikes me very similar to Prism. Now, Hoops has silver Prism cards, which look gorgeous. They have variation photos of each of the rookie cards, which also look very good. And the variation rookies, the background to them has one solid shimmer color behind it. And these cards look really, really good. If you check out our Instagram reels, Ricky, as part of the packs, I hit a Ja Morant variation with a blue variation background, and that card looks so good. It just jumps out at you, and immediately, like I talked about with Eminence, for me, the Ja Morant pops out. It's not just because I hit the card. The variation rookies pop right out, and you're like, whoa, this looks really cool.
Right.
And it's at a price point that right now you can actually buy.
So I think that's a good note to lead everyone on. The nice basketball card that they can go out and buy for collection or grading.
Rumor has it Kyle from Wax Museum bought 47 cases of Hoops. His favorite product.
He would.
Kyle?
All right, guys. Well, It's been another fun show for Chad and Tim. I'm Ricky, the Jaw, PSA 10, wishing all of you a one-of-one night.
Guys, I don't want to admit this. Gordon Hayward, we got to talk about him.
What's
I
going
hate
on?
him. I will forever resent that man. He screwed over
Yeah.
Utah.
He did.
He's playing like an all-star.
What?
What?
Is it
Go
time?
look at his stats. He's leading Charlotte. He looks really good. And we got to talk at some point. You got to invest into his cards.
No. There you go. Baseball and Gordon Hayward. Oh, jeez.
I propose that as a show, we put our money in together and buy like a nice $100 Gordon Hayward card. We grade it and we put it in the Money in the Bank briefcase along with everything else.
It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity.
A fractional ownership of Gordon Hayward, like a rookie ticket or something. Huh?
He's such a douche. Daddy's always happy.
We can tear off a corner of his leg again, like that other base card that you had.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do we need to pull another like Tanya Harding and go visit him and get the other ankle?
He's just the worst. Like, I think he seems like he sucks.